welcome to the Pages of Ink podcast, the podcast where we explore all things books, authors, stories, and the world of reading. I'm your host, Angelica Garcia, and today I have a very special guest, my auntie. Today we are getting into the festive mood and talking about A Christmas Carol. We're going to discuss why this story has lasted for so long and what it's like to bring it to life through a table read. If you love books, storytelling, or Christmas traditions, this episode is for you. For viewers who may not know you, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Auntie, and your relationship with books?
Okay, I'll start with I'm your auntie, and that about covers it. Just kidding. I'm Angelica's aunt. I don't know, born and raised in Minnesota. I've lived in the Deep South for almost a decade, and I've bounced around between the cities, Fargo, St. Cloud, and ended up in Alexandria about 25 years ago. Now, do I have a relationship with books? I don't think so. Once upon a time I did, but currently I would say the last, for sure, 5 years of my life has just been non-stop work. Literally, 13, 14, 15 hours a day. But once upon a time, I had a very serious relationship with books, and my go-to, genre, like type of book, was medical mystery and murder mystery.
What was your favorite author or favorite book?
My favorite, two of the authors that are my favorite, one was Robin Cook, and he wrote medical mystery, very much liked his style of writing. And then Dan Brown, who wrote, of course, the Da Vinci Code. And I have the books, actually. You'd be very happy about that. I still have the stack of books in my bedroom of Dan Brown, but for the life of me, I can't think of what other book.
The Origin, I believe, is one. But yeah, I've seen your stack, and it's quite a few.
Yeah.
He's written quite a bit.
Yep, so I do like those. And I always like books, which is why I like this one, that you can read first and then watch a movie.
You like that?
I do. Do you?
Yeah, sometimes, because the movies are usually not very good, especially compared to the book, if you've read it first.
Yeah. I don't have a particular way I do that when a book comes out and then a movie. I don't have a specific order. It's usually I've read the book first and then I want to see the movie.
Okay, but that's good.
Yeah, is that the way?
That's the way, yeah, I think the way you should do it. But today we're doing a deep dive on one story in particular, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and this is one of those stories that almost everyone knows, even though they may not have read it yet. When was the first time you encountered A Christmas Carol?
Honestly, I think it was quite a few years ago. And I think it was a musical version of it, maybe in middle school, 7th, 8th grade. It was one of those things that we did as a classroom during that week of Christmas, leading up to Christmas break. We would watch a movie, a couple of movies actually, particularly in English class. And some of the movies we watched were West Side Story, not The Christmas Story, but what's that one? It's an older movie, A White Christmas.
Cute.
And I think we watched a version of A Christmas Carol, because I remember something about Tiny Tim in the movie, and this was 7th grade. So that was many, 30, 40 some years ago. And I remember seeing that movie, and in the movie, what I remember the most is a reference to Tiny Tim, and then the English type accent that was in the movie. So that was my first introduction. And then when we got this presented to us this year, I went back and watched not that particular version, but another movie of A Christmas Carol, an older version. And I've actually got it on my list of things to do before Christmas, is to watch the one with Jim Carrey.
That's my favorite movie version. besides the one that introduced me to the story, which was Barbie and A
Oh.
Christmas Carol, when I was a really little girl. That was really cutie. But they've made so many different versions, movies, musicals, different book adaptations. There's a Mickey Mouse.
So question, you've read the book.
Mm-hmm.
Have you listened to the audio?
When I read this earlier this month, it was half reading probably and then half listening.
So do you think the Barbie version, the movie, is similar?
Very similar.
Very
They
similar.
switch it up a little bit. Instead of a crotchety old man, Scrooge in there is Barbie, who's like a prima donna ballet star.
Sure.
It's very cutie. So
I might have to watch that.
What amazes me about this story is how short it is, yet how powerful it feels. Why do you think A Christmas Carol has lasted in our culture throughout so many generations?
Okay, so the first thing that came to mind when you asked that question was because we are trying to decipher the Old English language.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly.
Almost 135 years ago it was released.
So why it's lasted, honestly, and I won't be, I mean, yes, the language is difficult somewhat, but why it's lasted, in my opinion, is it's a story that so many of us, I don't know of anyone that wouldn't find a parallel in their lives to a character in the book in their very own life.
Yeah, that kind of is a good segue into the next question. Which themes in the book stand out to you the most? Like mine is redemption, compassion, time, regret, and hope. Those are pretty big themes throughout the story, I think. Out of those 5, which one is the biggest for you?
Redemption.
Yeah.
Because Scrooge is such a crotchety old man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, mean.
Yeah.
It surprised me in listening. I'm listening to the audio right now, and I'm almost done. I'm in stave 4. Is that how you say that?
Yeah.
So even that took a hot minute. I went and Googled what does stave exactly mean. I had an idea,
Mm-hmm.
but honestly, I've never heard
Neither have I.
in any of my reading of books, in writing literature papers, in any college course, I've never heard stave.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of had an idea what it was. However, I did go Google it. So, what was your question? What was the biggest
Theme that stood out.
Yeah, for sure, redemption, because even the language I find very much what Dickens used is way more descriptive.
Mm.
Like when he's talking about Scrooge and how violent and basically angry he is, some of the words are like, ooh, ouch. Ooh,
Yeah.
he's just very, very descriptive.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't want to be described like
No.
that.
Uh-uh.
What I really like about the book is how it reminds us that it's never too late to change, because Scrooge isn't young. He's set in his ways, but yet transformation for him is still possible. Who is your favorite character in A Christmas Carol? And is there a character that you understand better now, almost being done with the book?
I don't know, you tell me what you think. I'm trying to understand Scrooge. Why was he so Scrooge? Was it because it's what his name, his namesake is, so he had to live to that standard that he was a Scrooge? Or did life make him that way? Or was it that he was truly taken by the pursuit of the wrong things in life, if you will, which
Think
was
that.
for him wealth?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what made him so Scroogey?
I believe so, because he, from a young age, gave up everything that truly mattered to him to pursue wealth, and then he got to such an old age that he knew nothing else but that, being all alone with his money, but with all the money in the world and no one or nothing to enjoy it with, it doesn't matter.
So much wealth then, because throughout doing the table read
Mm-hmm.
and rewatching the old version of A Christmas Carol and reading the book as well simultaneously, you kind of get like I questioned, is he poor or is he rich? Because he seems so miserable. And not that money can buy you happiness, but shouldn't you at least be somewhat comfortable? And he was very uncomfortable throughout everything that we watched, that I read to this point, the table read and learning about him there. He's just so miserable.
Because it's the material things he's rich in, but everything else that matters, he's not.
So I suppose it sapped his soul. Like there's no life left in his soul. So that to me it is kind of eye-opening for sure. So maybe I should take more days off.
I think so. I think that would be really good. Which of the three spirits do you think was the most impactful? Whether to Scrooge or to you?
To me, it was the character that you played in the table read.
Cutie.
Who was that?
The Spirit of Christmas Past.
Yeah, just because I think many things actually, but one of the things I think is, geez, if I ever have to deal with the spirit ever, I hope it's kind and gentle.
Cute.
Like that spirit was very gentle and to the point, very direct, but not like the character that one of our castmates played was Eric.
The Ghost of Christmas Future.
He was terrifying.
Yeah.
Like so terrifying. And in rewatch last night we had we had a watch party last night and it was so much fun. We had all the cast members minus one, but we all sat and watched all 4 episodes. It was just under an hour. And watching that play back, even though we all sat in every episode, and you feel so much a part of the story. Watching it back, it hits differently.
Yeah.
And when I was watching Eric on screen, who plays which spirit?
Ghost of Christmas Future.
He's terrifying.
Yeah.
And he did such a good job with almost just existing. So I hope I never see a spirit like that.
Yeah. And
how about you?
Probably him. Well, maybe I think actually Christmas Present, so Thomas's character.
Oh yeah, he did really good.
Just I think the ignorance and want aspect of that one was really what stuck with me. But speaking of the table read, so we were a part of A Christmas Carol, the Table Read, which the most important podcast ever, hosted by Brian J. Dunn, produced. You can find it on his YouTube channel now. All 4 episodes will be out by the time this one is released. So I'll leave a link for that in the bio below. But Auntie, have you ever been a part of a table read, or did you ever do theater growing up?
I did and I went to a very small school, small Catholic school. I graduated with, if I remember correctly, like 18 students. So it wasn't a very big school, although freshmen, sophomore, junior, seniors were all housed in one building. So it maybe felt a little bigger. But as far as my theater exposure, it was middle school, freshman, sophomore, junior. So performing like what we did even here, I never in a million years thought that I would ever be a part of something like that. And then to be a part of it with you.
That was cool.
And with Sean, who's her uncle, my husband, that was, I think, something that none of us will ever forget. And we'll take, I'm sure, with us into the next realm, because I've never seen her in that kind of role where she took charge of all of these cast members. There's 11 of us, and I don't know, had you ever done anything like that before?
No, like during projects at school, I would let somebody else take care of it.
Well, I told her she was very good
like
at
take
it.
the lead.
Yes, and I want to see more of what we did with Brian.
Yeah.
She did. I was impressed with how you coordinated everybody in the room to align with the story, and I feel like you very much understood Brian's, the host of the most important podcast, this was his vision. This was his baby. It's a story that he's listened to
for years, and he would write essays on it every Christmas and post it on his social medias. But this year he wanted to do something a little different. Yeah, and he was gracious enough to invite all of us to help him bring it to life, which was so much fun.
And all of us, when she says that, she's referring to all of the different podcast hosts that film podcasts out of our studio here. So it was Zany Talks podcast, The Unspecified Show,
Sip Happens FM, Grounds for Discussion, Pages of Ink, all under the most important podcast ever. Super, super fun.
So that was it was very fun. I would like to do actually more of that. So I'm thinking, because my favorite genre is murder mystery, I would love to do something
That'd be super
like
cool.
that.
Maybe next October, spooky season would be really cool.
We should do it.
That will be coming soon. Was there a moment that really stuck with you, or something about the whole experience that surprised you the most?
I think what surprised me the most was all of these young boys, Casey, who's a young, 26 from Sip Happens FM, were all these connected individuals through the coffee shop. Brian puts us kind of like in a fishbowl, and we have to, like a big fish tank, I guess is a better way, and we have to figure out how to swim in and around each other and do it with grace and respect and commitment. And every single person that was involved in this project brought that.
Yeah, that was
I was
really nice.
very impressed with the boys, with you and Casey. It was just nothing. I didn't know what to expect. I said I would do it because I know that it means, and I really don't know the depth. Only Brian would know the depth of what the story means to him. But I know that it means a lot to him. So you want to, help your friend out, and you've got the capacity, you've got the willingness to do it. Now, I'm already thinking, what's he going to do next year? And I hope he includes us, because it brought me more than what I gave, the time that I gave to this table read.
Yeah. In conversation with Brian, he does have something really exciting planned for next year.
Does he? Does he? You already know?
I know a little bit, and I'm super excited.
I hope it's something like this.
But amped up.
I'm excited, and I'm definitely in. I think, given the time, we didn't have a lot of time.
We did it all within 2 weeks or a week and a half. From
he was quietly working on it
for a long
July.
Time. Yeah,
like adapting the story and coming up with
the script,
the flow. Yeah, the script and the different scenes, and he had characters in mind that he was going to plug all us in, because he knows us all. And that's the fun thing, is everyone in the production, we all know each other.
Yeah.
And I honestly think that the parts that he picked, they fit us.
They were perfect for everyone. Yeah, for sure. If someone has never read A Christmas Carol, would you recommend them reading the book or listening to it, or watching a movie or musical adaptation first?
I think because of how I process information, I would do the book simultaneously with the audiobook.
Yeah, that would be good, especially if you're not a reader, or if the old language is kind of tricky for you to get through. Listening while following along to the book, I recommend as well.
I found myself reading and then rereading. But when I listened to the audiobook, say I read, a couple pages in the morning and would listen to the audiobook on the way home, it would help me understand the language style, so that when I continued to read, it wasn't so much processing of I think this is what he meant in this language, but I'm not really sure. So listening to something like A Christmas Carol, which I have to say, this book cover is so pretty.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing the spine. It says 1843. So
sure.
It's old. Wait.
Very old story.
Wow, wait. All right, Auntie, we're about to wrap things up, but my final question is, if you could sum up what A Christmas Carol teaches us in one idea, what would it be? For me, it's a reminder that kindness matters and the way we treat people can change everything.
Gosh, there's so many good takeaways from this story. I think the most important aspect of this is redemption, because for me this also reminds me of what Jesus came to do for all of us, and dying on the cross was so that we could all be redeemed in spite of our Scroogey selves, essentially. So I think that concept, this story that's so well written, do you think that's the main theme, is redemption?
I would say the main
So this story that is very interestingly crafted around that theme, it many times brought me to Jesus and thinking of not only what he did for us, but that it is a gift that we're given, is redemption, and to accept it, which is not always easy for people, I think. So beautiful story, beautiful book, beautiful process. I still can't believe that we worked on a project like this.
It was a lot of fun, and again, I hope you all go and watch it. I'll leave the links for all the episodes in the description below. Thank you so much for joining me, Auntie.
You're welcome, Angelica.
And thank you everyone who is listening or watching for spending some time with us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Auntie, where can they find you and your podcast?
My podcast, Grounds for Discussion, is currently out on YouTube. And when I even say Grounds for Discussion, I can physically feel myself change. Because it's such a different version. It kind of highlights a different version of me, which is a little more serious. But a little teaser, if you will. Myself, Angelica, Casey, we are going to start a talk show where we won't always be so serious. And we'll get to discuss things like books, current trending events. So I'm looking forward to that, because I think it'll showcase a little more of our personalities and why the madness at Deja Blue House Coffee and all the podcasts work.
Yeah, it'll be so much fun.
I think the biggest one I'm excited about, and I won't disclose the book, is a book that I recently listened to on audiobook, and I've been waiting for it to come out in either hard or soft, and it sells out as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
But that book I'm really excited to talk about.
Little teaser, it'll be super exciting. If you haven't revisited A Christmas Carol in a while, maybe this is your sign to pick it up again. Until next time, happy reading and happy holidays, and remember, every story has a second chance to inspire. Bye guys!